How's it going, guys? This is Tom from Magani Brigade, and we're here with Kezzy, and we're here for our spicy tech of black dragons. She wants to show you guys what her black dragons can do. Take it away, Kezzy.
So, I may be known for Dungeon World, but I picked up black dragons just over a month ago, and at our last local, I got second place, only losing to Mondo with his omnis, and he decided to win first, so I think that speaks for itself. I want to talk about my choices in this deck list and why I feel like this impact is the best win condition and the Dragon Force Original is the best weapon for black dragons, and how I base my deck around those two cards. The Buddy is the new secret pack Abigail. When it dies, mill your opponent 2, you draw. SD Abigail I don't think should ever be run as a 4 because the ability is a named ability once per turn. So if you see multiple or you see him early, it's not that useful. Balzam is on place, named ability once per turn, the same problem, but first turn super live, every turn super live as long as you don't see all 3 in your opening hand. It will destroy a black dragon, non-monsters, it can be anything. Charge and draw. Background, 2 gauge, it's a spell on a body, and it's beautiful. Background, thank you for giving us a good gauge monster. 3 of the impact monsters, 2 Gaito is for extra mill, extra gauge, and 2 Penelope. I knew that none of my other monsters could cost a gauge for my gauge cost, because they were already kind of high because it's a 4 gauge impact monster, so it made the decision to make sure these swaps do not cost a gauge. So I like Awakened Abigail, I really do, but I could not afford it with this deck without running more Jaegers, which causes more overhand. For my spells, I have a 4-3-3 1. There's currently a 50 card deck, so if I was going to go up to 51 or anything like that, putting in a shield would be a very easy choice. It is a lot of shields because Black Dragon is a stall and control deck. If you get rushed down, you don't get to stall or control. And running both noble sacrifice, which can proc the destruction effects of some of the monsters on your field, and milling for Black Dragon, the amazing Black Dragon shield, which can work around some impact monsters and finishers, makes it a very strong and healthy shield lineup, which should ensure that the battle goes past turn 2 or turn 3. Obituary, set, pay 1 gauge. If there's a Black Dragon, you draw cards. And then you call Balzam, destroy Obituary. You've now drawn 2 cards, gain 1 gauge, made your opponent discard 1 card from hand. When Obituary is going to draw zone, that activates. Obituary will also be blocked in your last death violence. This combo will get rid of your opponent's hand, get rid of your opponent's monsters, their sets, their items, and wipe the board to push for game. Soul Steal is plus 3 gauge if their set drop zone is 10 or more. Darkness Rune is a pay 1 life for a choice of 3. Remove a soul from a card in the field, destroy a size 1, or gain 2 gauge, counter. So this, if drawn off of Abigail, when your last death violencing, it can cause gauge to happen, but the counter choice is very important here for a lot of matchups. Now, next I'm going to talk about this area that may confuse a lot of people that are watching. I'll go ahead and point out once per turn, once per turn, once per turn, and once per turn. This is why I can't afford to run any of these cards over 2, because if they get clumped, your hand gets clumped, and no one wants that. So I can see you running this and saying this too well. I could see you running more of these cards, but it hurts. It can make things stop working. Sunshine Loophole is a pay 1 gauge, search your deck for a Black Dragon monster and add it to your hand, only when your opponent is 6 or more and drop, which is very easy. So anytime I get this card in hand, it is an extra copy of this whole area here, so it could be a gauge 2 if you're only 1 gauge off. It would be a Balzam to complement our Obituary. So Sunshine Loophole, I could keep running as many copies of as you can afford this gauge. And Summon the Darkness, if you see it turn 1 and you have no shields in your hand, I play it. I always play it as long as I have Black Dragon in the field. You need at least 1 shield in hand, especially with the type of damage output we see in games currently. As the last point I'd like to mention that I'm only running 2 Dragon Force. That is because of the 2 Dread Carriers. If Dead Carrier is played, you get your Dragon Force back from drop as long as Abigail's already on the field, so you have the release condition set up. Unfortunately, you cannot Dead Carrier into an Abigail and then a Dragon Force. That would be a little broken, but you can get this card back without having a bunch of weapons in your hand. Once you already are on the Dragon Force, Dead Carrier is not an extra copy of your weapon. That's what it is. And sometimes it's both. So, I'm going to talk about different impacts for Abigail. Last death violence is 4 gauge, enter the field. If there are 10 or more, nullify the abilities of all 3 spells out of everything on the field, on both fields, and destroy them. The call cost is up to 2 black dragons, so you can choose obituary, you can choose this, and you can proc all of them, but you have to make sure this cannot be nullified, but can be destroyed. This, if you nullify the ability and then destroy it, you obviously will not be getting any benefits off of that. So you make sure you target your Abigails for the call cost first, but obituary is fine. And, of course, the Dragon Bolts will not be destroyed. Black Death Violence coming in against so many cards in the meta, getting rid of items that are important to get rid of in Hero World or in other control decks, and taking away everything that they've built up, their gates, their items, is unbelievably powerful, especially in a Soul Guard meta. Their size 3, no matter how many cards they put into protecting it or keeping it alive, will be gone. And the triple attack is nice, but that's not the purpose of this card. This purpose of the card is to reset them to square one. The reason why I do not run Unlimited Death Strain or Vanishing Death Hole, unfortunately, will not help you against the Close Center deck. It just won't. It'll pop everything once. And then it'll attack. And you're not dealing that impressive 6 damage. This could do an impressive 6 damage. But there's certain matchups where if you can mill them even a little, they've milled themselves, and all you have to do is finish the off. So I've run these and these.
What are those cards?
Okay. Napalm goes in, and Unlimited Death Train goes in. The reason behind milling Black Dragons is by turn 4, your opponent should have 30 cards left in their deck no matter what. Because you start with 8 cards out and they charge you out each turn. Every deck has some sort of thing propelling it where they draw cards. They hyper energy, that's 4 cards left in their deck. After turn 4, they should be down to 30 cards in deck without your help. You only need to mill 30 to win. 10, 20, 30. 3, whatever number this gets. 2, you see how easy it could be to mill a deck out, especially if they're helping you. But you're running away from their setup. You're running away from their setup to an alternate win condition, which can still grasp victory. I'm also running. The reason why Abigail has to be Buddy, any Abigail has to be Buddy, is for Gale Reflection to be a live card in the side deck. It's just a very strong counter to pop and mill too. But as most death grips, it's not useful when you're fighting side 3 decks. Haven't really decided on my last card in the side deck, so. But I'm currently running Jet Black Wind, which is 1 round. 1 gauge, pop everything on their field if they're at 6 or more and off. Hits everything if they have a full field like Slide.
So it's a nice board. It's a nice board wipe.
I like it. I just don't love it yet. Nothing here. I believe that's all of my commentary on cards and why I chose the cards I did.
Do you feel like there are any major outliers in your deck that you feel that you wish you could swap out for something better that other players might be able to do? Something even better with this look.
I mean, if we had Primal Abigail,
yeah.
Well, with what cards English has, I think this is pretty dang close to what my ideal deck build is.
Okay.
I see other deck lists that run a lot more weapons, things like the Fang, things like running more than 2 Dragon Forces. But because of the carrier being either Dragon Force or anything else or both, I have a problem with that point of view from my playtesting. But there's also the thing, there's maybe cards like Sodavag and Million Edge that can help get the engine started, but they mill yourself. And I've almost milled myself out at 50 cards, but if you're running any cards that mill yourself, you need to put in cards to go above 50. Because this is a real threat, because you're going into a long game with it. I don't run other weapons, because the moment you get onto this Dragon Force, you don't want to go into retaliation that much. You don't want to go back into Gale's Paw.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they are a stepping stone to getting to this amazing dragon force, there is a problem with drawing them late.
Just gaining the one life off of every attack is fairly strong.
Yeah. The idea of this deck is you don't shield early if you can, unless you know they're going to Bobber Smasher you or some other card that unless you know that they're going to hit you down with a huge attack that you can't shield, then you don't shield early, but you stay at 6 or so, you get your Abyss Symphony, your Dragon Force out, you can pay that last life pretty easily and go down to 6 if you're at 7, and then you just go up from there. You go up to 7, go up to 8. I've been back up to 10 lengths with the Dragon Forces, but you're forcing your opponent to play a long game, and that will go in your favor with any turn, every turn knowing 3 to 5 cards generally from the top of their deck. Mill is not the win condition in this deck. Having them run out of steam, lose their whole hand, or just not have a shield left, will bring you victory.
Well, seems like a pretty solid list.
I'm going to try to find someone to fight and upload that in the next video so you can see what I'm talking about in action.
Alright, and until next time.
Thank you.